Hello guys, welcome to the Trading Parrot. Yesterday I spent whole day traveling, so I couldn't manage to post a video with an update on our setup. But the good news is that things are progressing very quickly, fulfilling step by step the plan of action that I left for you in my previous video. And I think that the outcome is not just still in place, but also the likelihood of that to happen has increased substantially. So let's have a look in detail. Guys, if you like this type of content, remember to subscribe the channel, hit the like, enable that notification bell so you get notified every time I put out one of these videos. And if you feel like supporting the channel, watch the video until the very end. And before going anywhere, write down a comment down below. That's really helping the channel to continue growing. Thanks. So here we have the RSI daily. You can see that from the time that we were selling Bitcoin, we have already done one full leg down. Then we have some sort of bounce here and then another leg down with a double top. So that's pretty much the macro of where we are. The price during this whole range has been going sideways. At the moment, we were looking for a potential bottom of the momentum and some sort of bounce. We say that we're gonna hit resistance at this trend line, which at some point we did in the live candle, and we saw a rejection and we were looking for a higher low. I was expecting the higher low to be somewhere here around the 30, but it was a little bit higher at 31. And then we say that if we printed that higher low, the likelihood of the breakout was even higher. And we ended up doing that. Notice as well these triangles, which means that the RSI is crossing above the band of the RSI. This band is not the band of 3070. This band is constructed with statistics using percentile nearest rank. You can see that thanks to this area here, it was at 19, but then when we started becoming more bullish, the bottom was set at 35. And as the momentum changed once again, we started pushing it lower as a response. So what I think it comes next has to do with where is the liquidity, and it has to also do with what the weekly RSI is telling us. So let's go one by one through all this information. Let's decompose it and let's confirm that our target of going slightly higher is still in place. My hypothesis is that we're gonna go somewhere in between this area here and we're gonna find some sort of big resistance. We're talking of going from 35 to around 50, and if we are very bullish, to meet fully with the resistance at 53. So let's set that expectation in the chart. I'm going to use the reverse RSI and set a target between 49 to 52, and that is giving us roughly 64.5 to 65.5. So 1K range for a potential reversal strong. This means that the price from here might eventually manage to overcome our current resistance of 62.5. That is the step number one. Step number two, it needs to break above the resistance trend line and then somehow get into this range here. We need to explore the weekly to see where is the momentum. This is a setup on the daily, so it might take a few days to play out, but we need to see all the different forces coming against each other. We have the shorts here at extremes, so this is the fuel that can take us higher because those overexposed shorts in a group too large of shorts are exposing themselves to getting liquidated with higher likelihood. We have had for quite a while an underperforming Bitcoin here with the socials as well. I'm not talking about the technicals, but exposure in Twitter and YouTube has been very low. Interactions. We have a cross-fee ratio that was about to reset in the green on the daily, which is happening very rarely. Typically, you see bounces from areas like this. The things that are against us are the NDX and the S&P currently having a little bit of difficulties with an all-time high. For example, the Nasdaq has lost momentum and the S&P has printed a high bearish divergence. On our defense, we can say that the last time that happened on the S&P, it didn't play out. It typically plays out very often, but this time it didn't. We have the DXY printing 106, getting very close to this resistance. That is in our favor as well. And we can also see that DXY is getting very overextended, not in terms of how high the RSI is going, but it's printing quite a bearish pattern. So potentially we might see the DXY also having some cooldown in here. We ended up closing with 5 bullish divergences in this area. So we have some momentum to the upside that hasn't played out yet, in my opinion. We are below the short-term holder realized price, which is located at 63.6. So one of the outcomes is that we might go and try to get above that short-term holder realized price, and we might see a rejection, just like we did around here, where we started going sideways for a little bit longer and then we overcome it. So this is not the time to decide whether we're going to go above it or below it. We are just targeting when we go there. If we see we continue, then we keep the position open and we take even more profit. But at the moment, we need to start thinking, what does it do the price after it loses the short-term holder? Well, it goes below and it tests the level once again before deciding if it's going to be a bear market or a bull market. I remind you that in bull markets, short-term holder realized price is your support, and now we are below it. So the price needs to go there and test whether we're going to have at least a bear season, if such a thing exists, before we recover, or if we are going to go above it once again and continue with the bull market. The bull market support band, we are within it. We are holding from a thread. We have a few days ago the reset of the fear and greed index at 30, just like we did on the 12th of September, where we started very humbly increasing, still in the fear on the 40s, creeping into the 50s, and then eventually we made it to the 90s. So that could be one of the outcomes that comes next. And we are starting to see the ETFs doing some inflows. There's some buying there, very humble, but it's good to see that things are starting to turn the other way around. If you haven't been watching my videos, we have many days of outflows, which was quite bearish. And here we are on the weekly. We need to respect what's going on here when we're trading on the daily. We know that on the weekly, we are pending from a thread outside support of the whole bull market. And we have a head and shoulders here that could play out, taking us to 36, which in the price is located at 47K.5 at the moment. What we need to do before Sunday is get this RSI above support. If we close by Sunday above support, I will say that our entry is going to be the golden entry. But if this RSI closes below, even if we take some profit and we get to 63 and we see a rejection, then possibly by Sunday this will close below this, and then instead of getting the golden entry, we're gonna get a ticket to hell. Other things that are in our favor is that I continue to see slowly but steadily big whales withdrawing from exchanges more than deposits. This is a ratio. It's called the Big Whale Explorer, and it has provided us great exits from the market as well as great entries. Long-term holders are just holding above these levels of support here, so it's still not obvious that this might reverse to the upside big and strong, which is what we need. It could still sell anytime. I think there is still a lot of indecision in this period of the summer. Yesterday there was a presidential debate. I haven't watched it yet. I'm on holidays. I'm still looking for the answer to whether they mentioned crypto or Bitcoin or anything bullish. Let me know in the comments if you had the chance to watch the hour and a half of it. And here it is, one of the juiciest targets on the weekly. We have 64.9. That coincides with what we are talking. Yes, price can continue coming here to the 60s to take a bit more liquidity before heading back up. If we come down to here, the right thing to do is then to come back to the daily chart and look at whether the RSI has come below this line by the end of the day. If we fake out there, it means that the momentum is really crap and we might see a lower low on the daily, in which case we have the perfect recipe to start looking for a potential lower low relative to this 56. And in that case, we might be going for the 55 that I have been showing you in this chart here. You can see that the 62.5 have still that protection. Some levels are leaving as the price went very close, but they actually went closer to the price because they wanted to short from lower prices. Support is also coming close, so we are going to see some sort of squeeze in the next 24 hours. Hopefully, we're going to be able to see the fulfillment of the plan I was talking about. Open interest is starting to increase once again, and we got lots of shorts in this area. Guys, I hope you found this video useful, that I'm recording in the middle of my holidays very quickly. Have a look at the link in the description. We have a new partnership with Bybit offering up to 30,000 in rewards, which you can connect to my Discord server and get 70% discounts in any of the TTP subscriptions if you have a good level of volume trading in the exchange. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.